Hi, we have amazing volunteers in our community, and without these magnificent people, our lives would be very different. The work of volunteers can often be thankless and at times pretty testing. Your resilience and commitment is unquestionable. National Volunteer Week is a great opportunity to acknowledge all of our volunteers in our community for their tireless efforts in building our community spirit through their unwavering support. In these uncertain times, it is even more important than ever to recognise and acknowledge our volunteers. COVID-19 has changed the way we celebrate this year, so we're going online to announce our Volunteer of the Year award winners. The Bryan Watson Award is awarded to an individual who is recognised for their outstanding commitment in the Wodonga community. And the winner of this award is Gary Mawby. Gary is a tireless volunteer who has spent time at FoodShare, a driver for community access, a member of Rotary and volunteers at Wodonga Migrant Experience. Gary is an excellent team member who makes a valuable contribution to the Wodonga community. Congratulations, Gary.
G'day. Firstly, I'd like to thank Wodonga Council for sponsoring these awards, which were created to highlight the important role that volunteers play in our city. Secondly, I'd like to say how honoured and humble I am to have been considered worthy of the Bryan Watson Individual Volunteer Award, particularly as it's named after such a respected member of the Wodonga community. No one volunteers with the intention of receiving an award, but it is, as I said, a great honour. It's also an opportunity for me to acknowledge the efforts of hundreds, possibly thousands, of other volunteers in our community, including members of the SES, CFA and Red Cross, whose members often spend their entire adult life serving their organisations. I'd also like to acknowledge the various service clubs in our community, including Rotary, Lions and Apex, and the many agencies whose volunteers give countless hours each year in the service of others. I started volunteering soon after I retired in 2011, both as a way to give something back to our community, as well as for the opportunities volunteering provides by way of meeting new friends, learning new skills, and generally doing things that were totally different to my former professional life. Since 2011, I've been a volunteer guide at Wodonga Migrant Experience, who nominated me for this award, as well as doing a bit of volunteer driving for community access and Wodonga FoodShare, as well as being a member of a local Rotary club. So why is volunteering important? Imagine what the first months of this year would have been like without the emergency response volunteers, the donations of hay and supplies and transport, the agencies and individuals that donated and prepared food for bushfire victims, and manned the relief centres, and fed the hundreds of volunteers who came to rebuild farm fences destroyed by the fires, and this work is continuing. And in more settled times, countless volunteers quietly go about their tasks, delivering Meals on Wheels, visiting the sick and needy, raising funds for community assets, running sporting clubs and serving our community in numerous ways. Volunteering isn't just important, I reckon it's essential. Thank you.
Our Volunteer Team of the Year is given to a team who demonstrates amazing volunteer commitment to the community. And the winner is the Albury-Wodonga Regional FoodShare Volunteer Team. They perform all warehousing and distribution work for this service. It involves rescuing and transporting food from our local donor organisations, operation of the warehouse, transporting food to local food relief agencies and schools. The work is manual and physically demanding. About 15 volunteers work at FoodShare every day, and they provide around 16,000 hours or more than $400,000 worth of work every year. So without the volunteer team, the FoodShare just couldn't operate. Here's Peter from FoodShare to accept the award.
Hello, I'm Peter Matthews from Albury-Wodonga Regional FoodShare, and I'd like to thank Wodonga Council for nominating us as the winner of the Team Award for Volunteering for 2019-20. FoodShare is a volunteer-led organisation. We have over 100 volunteers doing a whole range of different tasks, sorting the food, distributing the food, delivering food to individuals and to community groups and agencies and schools. So we have drivers using our vans, we have people sorting the food, we have others who are contacting the agencies and informing them of what we have and what availability there is for certain types of stock. So it's a massive team effort and a well-deserved award for our fantastic volunteers. They really are. They are the most enthusiastic, contributors that I've ever worked with. Many of them get in very early in the morning, 7:30, 8 o'clock, and some of them are still here at 4:30 in the afternoon. They just love it so much. They love their contribution, the fact that they're helping the community and really contributing to the betterment of our community. So thanks again, and cheers.
Hi everyone, I'm here to acknowledge our new Volunteer of the Year for Two Cities One Community, and that person is Barry Barton. Barry's worked at the Bungilla Migrant Centre, at our library, at St Matthew's Church and our courthouse. He personifies what we look for in volunteers who work for their community. So truly, congratulations to Barry, and kudos to him for his wonderful efforts in supporting you, our community.
Thank you very much for this award, which I must say has come as somewhat of a surprise, but it's one that I happily accept on behalf of all the volunteers who make a tremendous contribution to the border community. When we retired from Melbourne and moved up into this area, volunteering seemed like a good idea to get involved and to meet new friends, and that's the way it's turned out. Unfortunately, the COVID-19 restrictions have forced a lot of the organisations to shut down, and we've missed that volunteering tremendously. We're certainly looking forward to when the place opens up again and we can get back to a more active participation. Thank you.
So thank you everybody. Thank you for all of your time, all of your commitment, and thank you for making Albury Wodonga and Wodonga great.